Well, folks, I'm not going to tell you who the realtor is, but today I'm going to show you some testimony from a former client in regards to this realtor steering him away from my service and how that didn't end well for him. Now, there is a little bit of a backstory to today's episode, and that's because about a year ago, about 5 or 6 episodes into this series, Real Estate Uncovered, I received a phone call from this particular realtor, and some of the last words that this realtor ever spoke to me were, "Mark, I have never done anything to cause you or your business harm." Now, that was a lie, and I knew it was a lie, but today this testimony is going to prove to all of you that this realtor is a liar, just like so many realtors. Okay, so where's this testimony? Now, remember, before we get into it here, this realtor back in late May, early June of 2025, so last year, we were just getting into Real Estate Uncovered as a series, contacted me by phone and flat out stated, "Mark, I've never caused you or your business harm." Now, a couple months later in August, I received these texts from a client that we'd mutually served. So here we go. August 24th, 2025 at 2100, I received these messages from this client. "Hey Mark, hope all is well. I've been following your Real Estate Uncovered series. Back in July 2023, me and my partner were in the process of purchasing a home. We had gotten a home inspection done from you on a house on this blacked out section here identifies the house and could identify this client, which is why I'm blacking it out. It also identifies the realtor representing the seller on this deal and the shady stuff that they were pulling before the offer was made. So it's just getting blacked out. We're going to move on. I was pleased with how thorough you were with your inspection, and it ended up steering me away from a potential problem property, which I was thankful for. Now, it was a while before we ended up finding a house we actually liked, and somehow we found a house before it was actually listed, which I thought was weird, and come to realize now that I way overpaid. When it was time for a home inspection, she told me to try someone else instead of you. She definitely steered me away from you, and I'm still kind of pissed off because of it. It's not that our home inspection from someone else was crap by any means, but once we had moved in, I found a world of problems months later, from mold, leaking showers, improper plumbing, electrical issues, radon, you name it, we had it. The inspector was also unable to get into the attic. All of these things you had previously done and found for me on my previous inspection. I just thought I'd give you my story on this. I'm never using a real estate professional again and will take my chances selling and buying privately next time. So what is this, ladies and gentlemen, if not lies and manipulation? This testimony from this client that we had mutually served back in 2023 basically states that this realtor is a liar, a manipulator, and has no problem steering clients away from me after they told me they've never caused me any harm, and then steering these clients towards home inspectors that they prefer because they know they can get the house sold, which means this individual is also somebody that has no problem with colluding with other professionals to take advantage of you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so as you all know, I typically have an educational portion to my episodes, and we are going to refrain from doing that this week, and that's because last episode, episode 26, I stated to you that we're going to spend the next 2 to 4 episodes showing you testimony from some former clients, as well as people who wanted to be clients of mine, but were steered away by their realtor. And the reason for that is because I want to show you guys some of the slander and defamation of character that I've endured over my career. And when I'm done doing these next 2 to 4 episodes, I'm going to teach you all something about myself. And essentially what I'm going to show you is that for 14 years, I have been slandered. I have been nearly ran out of business. I've had thousands upon thousands of clients steered away from my service. And this entire time, I've had the ability to prove to all of you that the real estate professionals, mainly realtors, that have been engaging in this type of behavior, intellectually speaking, compared to me, are nothing more than adolescent children. I've been nearly slandered out of business by a large group of grade 8 elementary students, ladies and gentlemen. And that's not a slight, that is not a joke. I can literally prove that statement. In fact, I can not only prove it, I only need 60 seconds to do it. Anyways, I hope you'll all enjoy today's episode. As always, knowledge is power, and we'll see you on the next one.